Howdy YouTube, my name's Ethanra, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. So unfortunately my last recording got botched because of a message, so I had to start all over again. But it's not too bad. I didn't really explain too much of anything. I got just a little bit farther in the Coliseum because I ran into Cloud like 2 matches later or something. But unfortunately you all missed it, so I have to go back and fight him all over again. Because I am not leaving the video off where Cloud one-shots me and I let him do it, and then second chance, higher percentage by the way, decides, nah. When you're poisoned, oh yeah, I'll be 100%, even though that's beyond my limit. I'll be 100% if you're poisoned, but if you need me to activate, I'll flip a coin myself. So anyway, we're hopping back into this. Something I do want to discuss though is I was doing some research, and it turns out apparently I was wrong. Or rather, I don't know if I straight up said it would happen, or if I just said I think it would, or I felt it would, whatever. I'll go and take responsibility and say that I said it would happen, but apparently I was wrong. Kairi EX will come back, obviously, but apparently she won't come back as a guarantee in 5 pulls because she is an EX, and that makes her special. But my argument to that is she is an EX among EXs, so shouldn't she be treated as such? But another argument to that is that because she is so special, and just because of how she has broken the game, their words, not mine, she has Cena, I believe they're called, or that's what I'm going to call them, you know who they are going to milk this for as long as they can while it burns to the ground. I believe that was a paraphrasing of what some of them had said. So that's a bit unfortunate, but forgive me for trying to keep the dream alive. And on that note, I am not a professional in this game. I have never claimed to be, though I would like to believe I'm not a complete scrub. I forget things, but that's not related to my gaming skills, like how I figured out that boosting yourself and lowering the defenses of the enemies will increase the damage of your Nova. I didn't know that. I mean, the obvious one is decreasing their defenses would, hurt more, because obvious, but I didn't know that your Nova the Nova damage could be increased. I didn't know that until I figured it out for myself. And there are other examples that I can't recall off the top of my head. So before I make myself look more stupid, we're just going to leave that alone. Something I do want to discuss, though, is apparently it's hard to explain what they are. The dandelions. Okay, yeah, that'll work. The dandelions are supposed to be like the future foretellers, like their successors or something. And apparently they're all not here yet. There's one in particular that Eternia wants to talk to me about, but she hasn't really said it because she doesn't want to spoil it for me, being a good person. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is when the new story modes get here, I will record them, but I will not post them. That way you will all have my initial reaction to whatever is going to be going on. But with that said, I'm going to record them and save them and lock them, whatever, protect them. And I'm probably going to need you all to remind me they exist, because I don't want to go through the entire story and then get to that part and then be like, oh man, I remember when I did this. It's too bad y'all didn't see my reaction to whatever. But, so yeah, I'm going to record my reactions and the story modes from this point onward, but I will not post them until I catch up to where I was. Will be, I don't know. I'm not going to think about it too hard. Hopefully you all know what I mean. Also, I want to go out on a limb here and say, forgive me for when I say something wrong, because again, I am not a professional. I have never claimed to be, and in addition to having a bad memory, that kind of makes it difficult to keep my facts straight. Like, if you were to ask me, I've actually done it already, so I know the correct answer, but I just did it to myself to see if it was as bad as I thought it would be, and it is. If you were to ask me, what's the name of this medal, I would have told you Illustrated Ventus. That is incorrect. It is HD Ventus. Now, the reason why that's a problem is because it's like showing that I don't know the names of my own medals, and that's half true. Like how I called Kairi EX virtually this entire time. Well, her actual global name is Illustrated Kairi EX, or Cloud EX is actually Kingdom Hearts 2 Cloud EX. So, yeah, so if I don't even know the names of my own medals, then don't expect me to know what I'm talking about if I don't have proof to back it up. Like, I try to get as accurate as I can be, but if you were to ask me to do it off the top of my head, memory-wise, chances are I'm going to lose that bet. So what else did I want to discuss? We're still looking for Cloud here. I might actually need to like go through the rounds to make sure I don't pass him. I don't think I will, because every single time I'm doing the last round is always throwing me against Cloud. So I imagine I'll see him in just a second. But yeah, like I said earlier, because I don't know if I was specific enough, the last video got botched, so I had to throw it away. But I was, yeah, I did say it. I remember now, because I mentioned how I fought Cloud, and then I have to do it all over again. But yeah, so we're looking for Cloud again. He should be in the last spot like he was before that. But we'll see in a minute. Oh, and then after I defeat Cloud, which hopefully won't take too long to find him, I will tell you about the kit that I use, because I know I talked about it before, this particular one. But like I said, that video probably doesn't exist, so I'll get more in detail about it, as well as the other games in the Kingdom Hearts series and how I feel about that. So hopefully Cloud is not too far behind or ahead. That's another thing I do. Like, I notice I say certain things and I'll correct myself on it, or I'll say something and then not realize what I said was wrong until a little bit later. Like when I call something by a different name when it should be obvious. Like, I can't think of the immediate example because I don't remember. Okay, werewolf. So yeah, Cloud is close. Because I don't remember, but there was an example where I think it was with Ventus and Vanitas, I think, or no, it was Roxas and Vanitas, and I said the sentence in some kind of way where I said something like, where Roxas can remember his life back when he was Roxas. You know, that doesn't make any sense. Obviously, what I meant was when Roxas, will Roxas remember his life as Ventus? That's what I meant, because modern day Ventus is Roxas. But I digress. Oh, speaking of which, in case I didn't say it already, yeah, you could probably make some t-shirts with all the phrases that I use, because I use them so much. But I digress, probably being the highest. Or but I don't think I can own that one. Alright, so yeah, Cloud is close, because every time I've done this, it's always been the werewolf there. So hopefully Cloud is not too far off, because I want to talk about those other medals before I completely forget. And it was good too, man. The last one was good, because I actually defeated Cloud, and I was talking about the medals, and then boom, message. I think Cloud is next. If he's not next, then he's the one after that, because I'm starting to see a pattern here. These matches have been going by so fast, I haven't even been paying attention to where exactly he is. I just remember the werewolf was before him, and then a little bit later I noticed that the wardrobe is slightly, or right after that, or slightly afterwards, like I was going to say, because like I said, I'm not even paying attention. These matches are going by so fast. I honestly don't, if you would ask me, was the werewolf last? I couldn't tell you. I was not paying attention, because I was talking, there was a werewolf, then there wasn't, and now I'm here. So I honestly don't know. But that's another problem I have. I need to A, slow down what I'm saying, B, try to pay attention, and then C, pray my little heart out that the recording doesn't get screwed up, especially if it's a good one. Like, say, for example, Attorney and I are in Union Cross, and then boom, text message. Or, well, it depends on the text message, really. Or my phone decides it wants to explode. And the reason why I keep saying that is because I'm not trying to be cute here. My luck is that bad. Like, there's this law, if you will. I believe it's Murphy's Law, that anything that can go wrong will. That's my life, but times 11. Because if it can go wrong, it will, and it will, ironically so. I believe I haven't given examples in the past, but I don't want to talk about myself too much. We're here to beat Cloud over the head with a giant key for being too rough, and then we are going to discuss some medals. Well, I say discuss, but it's more like explain why I use what I use and why I like what I like. But I don't know. I guess that's a discussion. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, if that's not discussion, then okay, me just giving a speech. I don't know. The point is, I'm talking about something that I like. Call it what you want. It's still communication. So things like that. You have already seen numerous examples of that, and you will see some more in the future. But let me go and say this too, because I've said this in the past, so I might as well go and say it again here before I forget again. The number one thing about my videos that I hope you all can appreciate is that it's like a thonra, raw and unedited, because provided something, you know, video destroying doesn't happen, I will post the video. So, I don't have time to be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that because that doesn't make any sense. I'll just cut that part out. Or I'm trying to make a point here. Maybe I should play some funny music or something. You know, I can't do that. So it's literally exactly what you get. Exactly what you see is exactly what you get. Also, Eternia, I don't know if you noticed, but let's look together, because it looks like whenever those pink possessors pop into existence, a little illustration for you there, say it for the last word, it seems like they appear with the umbrella and then the umbrella opens up. Like, it's not like super obvious and it's not as detailed as that, but look really closely and you might see what I'm talking about. It's like the umbrella appears first, then it opens up and then they appear. Ah, okay, never mind. It's probably not going to happen. I thought there might have been more pink possessors in here. Or, I mean, I guess you could just rewind the video and see it for yourself, but I noticed that the very first time I saw them in this Coliseum run I've been recording, I noticed it the very first time. I've been trying to look ever since, and I don't know if it's my eyes playing tricks on me or it is happening. Yep, see? You see that? That's what I was talking about. Like, I was actually looking that time. It looks like the umbrella appears first, then it opens up, and then the pink possessor is there. Like I said, it's not very detailed in that way. Like, it's not frame for frame doing that, but that's just what it looks like it's doing. Like, there's the umbrella, it opens, and then boom, pink possessors. But yeah, see, Cloud was even more farther away than I thought he was. Like I said, I know he was before the werewolf, but I wasn't sure where he was. Apparently, he's pretty far back. But I'm glad I'm getting to fight the Cloud again. I will be really glad when I get the chance to fight him in that cup. I don't remember what it was. Hades cup, maybe? I don't know if they're all Hades cups. They just give different stuff, but whatever cup Cloud was in when I fought him, he was a beast. I could not do any kind of damage to him. Yeah, I think Cloud is close, because I remember fighting these things before I fought him, too. Alright, then. What do you think, Skull? Are we getting close? I see. Oh, yeah, see, and you can... Oh, man, did I mention that in the last video? I'm pretty sure I did, about how I feel about shenanigans and the minute bombs. See, like the little dance it's doing right there? That's pretty cute looking. Of course, if it was that firework heartless, it'd look cooler. Or cuter, even. Unfortunately, I took it out, so we couldn't see it do its little walk animation. Or maybe we will. Ah, Skull's in the way. That's okay, Skull. You're definitely more adorable anyway. And I was just thinking about what I said earlier. I don't try to mislead any of you. That's why I go out of my way to say things are a rumor. Or with the Kyrie EX, I was just really certain she'd come back. Because like I said, the other Kyries did it, and they were considered game-changing. Not breaking, admittedly, but game-changing. So I'm like, well, surely this Kyrie will come back. But like I told you, they said that she's an EX medal, so she won't ever come back as a guaranteed in 5 pulls. I don't know about that, because of how different she is even among EX medals. And like I said, I'm at least trying to keep the dream alive. You saw how my positive attitude helps when I got my Kyrie, did you not? I assume you did, since that's my most viewed video. Okay, I would imagine Cloud is next, or he might be a round or 2 rounds down, because when the video ended, like I said, Cloud showed up very fast, so he's either next or after that. Yep, there he is. Alright, Cloud, let's do this. Get our revengeance again. Then again, I guess it's not really revengeance, since I already got my revenge. It's just the good people at home didn't see it. Alright, so let's see. How did I do this? Because I wanted to be poetic the way I defeated him. And then let's get him, Skull. Finish him off on an attack from himself in the future. Yeah. Good job, Skull. But okay, so we got our revengeance, or rather, we assaulted Cloud, I guess. Like I said, I already got my revenge, so I don't know. I guess we just straight up assaulted him. Either way, we took him out. He will show up again, I'm sure. Okay. Now let me go ahead and get into my kit and my medals. Medals. Now, yeah, I just want to be on the middle screen because it'll be easier to do this. So, showing them off real quick. Kairi EX, or sorry, Illustrated Kairi EX. I plan to give her a second chance 3 because I already told you how smart of an idea it is to me to put something like second chance on a medal you absolutely know you were going to use a majority of the time. That's something I figured out myself. No one told me that. I'm not saying I pioneered that idea. I'm just saying I figured it out. If you're using a medal, like my old Kairi, I forgot which one it is, the other one, the one you know I used a lot, that one, I had second chance 2 on her because in virtually every kit I used, she was in it because she's that useful. So naturally, you would do the same thing with this one. So I plan to get her with second chance 3. This one has defense boost 1 max. I really wish I could have gotten farther in that one Coliseum where it was being defense boost max 2. And I'm going to come back to this medal. But this one is obviously here to do, well, copy Kairi EX really. But before I go any further, the reason why I have my kit set up the way it does is so that it'll be damaging to anything. Because Kairi EX is magic. This medal right here is technically speed, but it'll copy anything. And in this case, it'll be Kairi. And I'm just, for the sake of conversation, Kairi EX. So it'll be another one magic. Then Sephiroth here, World of Final Fantasy Sephiroth. I knew that, I just cut it short. He does, he ignores the attributes. I was trying to think of a better way to describe it, like advantage damage, I guess, where no matter what enemy he's used against, he'll always do the highest amount of damage. So he's useful against anything, as well as the abilities he has down there. HD Ventus, not illustrated. And yes, I saw he was technically, well, he's in a 3D model, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Yes, I saw that, but I didn't know. Anyway, so with him, I got attack boost 4 max and Lux plus because since this party is real active, especially about their Lux, it would make sense to have at least one of these. And I figure why not put it on Ventus? His ability is actually really good according to Eternia, so I'm really happy about that. And he's a speed medal, so there's more. And then key art number 9. Okay, good. I was right. I would have felt really bad if I was wrong. So yeah, key art number 9. And it does amazing damage thanks to A, how I buff it with this kit. B, its damage overall I don't think is that bad, but then again it's math, so I don't know. But the thing I know for a fact helps are these two right here. So no matter what enemy I use it on, it'll be doing 60% more damage because it lowers their defense by 60%, no matter what the enemy is, whether it's on the ground or in the air. So that's really cool. And then, of course, we can't forget my partner in crime, Skull. Bless his little self. He, of course, as you saw, is holding my Kingdom Hearts 2 Cloud EX. Unfortunately, it's not boosted. It just has strength plus 1000 on it because I never bothered trying to grow for another one. If I had, you know, the money, I probably would, but I don't, so there's that. But it's still good. I imagine if I could get this kit fully gilted, I would be literally unstoppable. And that's not even me just trying to be like, you know, talking smack. I literally think that I could do anything if I get these particular medals maxed out. Especially if I can get Kairi EX to have extra attack power on her. Oh, and I should go ahead and do this. So Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game because it's just overall fun. I like how different it felt compared to Kingdom Hearts 1. And of course, we all know how different Kingdom Hearts 2 felt to Kingdom Hearts 1. But even Birth by Sleep felt different compared to those games, which was good. So that was always cool. It was different, but not differently so where it was like complicated. I'm really a fan of the command styles they could use. Like some of my favorites are Critical Impact, Rock Breaker, and Dark Impulse from Terra. Ventus is, I'm going to remember these names really wrong because I don't use them that much. Ventus, I believe, would be Fever Pitch, Cyclone, and, oh man, what's the name of that last ability? I forgot what it is, but it's one where he makes like swords of light. He's using like 6 of them at one time. That one's pretty cool. I can't remember the name of that one. And then Aqua, I play as her the least. I honestly don't remember any of hers, but some of the ones that stand out to me is Ghost Drive. That one is pretty cool. I don't know if it's overall useful in like a boss fight. But the reason I say useful because the final attack is meant to like take out multiple enemies instead of just focusing on one. And I know you can argue they all do that, but Aqua's Ghost Drive does it in a very unique way. But Aqua's is pretty good. I can't remember her first one. Spellweaver, I believe it's called. That one's pretty good. Oh, and I attribute this more to Aqua than I do Terra, but also the Blade Charge. That one looks pretty cool with Aqua. It fits her pretty well, I think. So going back to Birth by Sleep medals, again, Aqua. That's pretty cool. Where's the rest? Ventus, of course, I just showed him off to you. And Roxas, how funny is that? They're side by side. It's almost as if the game is trying to tell you something I've already told you. Xehanort and Vanitas. Yeah, these two. I remember one of the first comments I saw about Xehanort when they saw what he actually looks like as this old man. They were saying how it looks like he was hit by a truck. And then when they showed what he looked like when he was younger, it was just like, wow, man, what happened to you? What happened to you, bro? I'm guessing it has something to do with the darkness. I'm going to get to this medal in a second. I really like that medal. Where's the rest? Here we go. Terra Xehanort. Naturally speaking, Terra being my favorite Kingdom Hearts character. And then Xehanort being a pretty awesome villain, considering he seems to be infinitely intelligent. He has a plan for everything. Terra being my favorite character, and my favorite incarnation of Xehanort would be this, Terranort. I figure I would really like to see what they do with this, and when they all fight the 13 Darknesses, unless for whatever reason they don't really, because that's my biggest concern, is that they'll get lazy with it. Like, you know, Xehanort will be there. Well, they'll all be there, but Xehanort looking like he does will be there. Syax and Zigbar, at that point being, I guess, Psynort and Xignort, will be there. Like, showing what they look like, not just with the black hood up. Xemnas and Ansem, of course, will be there, most likely in the black robes, even Ansem, or Ansem Seeker of Darkness, aka Xehanort's Heartless. And the rest will either be in black hoods with the hood up, like the traditional unknown and mysterious figure. But I hope not. I hope they actually go the distance and actually show different forms of Xehanort. And I'm really eager to see this one here. And another thing, I should go and touch on this while we're on this. One of the things I love most about Terra Xehanort when we fought him in Birth by Sleep is how he is, as I like to put it, anti-chain of memories. He's anti-chain of memories. And what I mean by that is in Chain of Memories, I was wondering why they made the card system, because I honestly thought it was kind of stupid. It wasn't that bad once you figured it out, but holy crap, it will get you killed. So with that in mind, I was wondering why they did that. And it wasn't until years later I got an answer, and it was because they were trying to make it easier to play on, the Game Boy Advance, and that's fine, I guess. But that game could be very hard. Like, there were 2 boss fights in that game that I felt I was never going to get by, and that was the final fight with Larxene. And when I was playing as Sora, it wasn't as bad as Riku, but the final fight with Replica Riku, those were like the hardest fights to me in that entire game. I did not think I'd get past them when I actually did, and Larxene made me so mad when I had to fight, when I fought her and she was such and just losing to her all the time. Oh, I was so mad. I'm glad I wasn't those type of people who like break their games, but if there was any part in my life where it would have happened, it would have been her. And then Replica Riku, he was at least somewhat fun to fight. I mean, he was at least fun, unlike Larxene. That entire fight was just annoying with her, but at least Replica Riku was somewhat fun, but he was pretty hard too, because once he got that dark aura off, if you did not stop it, you were going to die. Little side note here, I really kind of hate how the Kingdom Hearts thing does not keep up with its own continuity, if that's even the right word for it. Like, dark aura first appeared in Kingdom Hearts 1, where Riku does it, where it's not as bad as it looks, because thank God that game doesn't actually like connect hits. So even if you're being hit by a combo, Cloud's cross slash, for example, you don't get hit by all 3 hits. You only get hit by one of those 3, depending on when he tags you with it. Same thing with Dark Riku's, or Riku Ansem, or whatever you want to call them, when they're using Dark Aura, where it's a lot of hits. I mean, it's a lot of a lot. It covers about 90% of the arena, especially when the lightning goes off. Thankfully, every single one of those hits do not tag you, so it's not as bad as it could be. That changes in the Chain of Memories game, because again, if you get hit by one of those attacks or you fail to stop it, you're gonna die. Because as soon as he hits you that one time, you might not be able to get out of it. It's really bad on the Game Boy Advance version. That one is serious, where if you don't stop it, it's going to kill you. In the remakes on the PlayStation 2 and 3 and I guess 4, it's only as bad if, well, it kind of still applies. If you don't stop it or can't break it and he hits you, you're going to die. Because I don't unfortunately have the game, so I never got to play it. I have the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix and all the games on that. I didn't get the first one because I knew I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep more. But I've seen people get, what's the word for it? And sorry that this screen has been up the entire time. I'm going to get back to him, I promise. But I've seen them get stun locked with Dark Aura, where they, even when they had the cards to break out of it, the stun lock would not let them break out. So that move was incredibly deadly. It earned the respect and fear of all Kingdom Hearts players everywhere. But in Kingdom Hearts 2, they do it injustice by, I guess they wanted to make it a nod by saying, hey, remember this attack? Yeah, I remember, but that's not the right attack. When you're having Riku in your party, you can kind of control the actions he does. He has Dark Shield and Dark Aura, but Dark Aura in this game is not Dark Aura, it's Dark Firaga. So that's a little annoying with that, and they do that a lot in this game, especially in this one even, where they don't seem to keep up with some of their own stuff they do. Now, with all that being said, going back to all the hooded Xehanorts, I will be very eager to see what they do with this one if he ever shows up in Kingdom Hearts 3. And going back to what I said earlier about how he's anti Chain of Memories, is because in Chain of Memories, if you had the right slights, I believe they were called, you can get through anything, no problem. Now, the only reason I had trouble is because I tried not to cheese everything. I didn't want to be like, oh, this is the kit where you can literally just stun the boss the entire time. Okay. I was never that kind of guy, and I'm not shaming you if you did that. It's just I like to beat them, quote-unquote, fairly. Even with Larxene, I did not use, like, a setup or kit, whatever, a deck, I guess, that other people were using because, A, I didn't have access to the internet back then, and B, I wanted to do it on my own, so I just kept trying different cards and whatnot, and I eventually got through them both. But if you had the right slights, you could do it, and technically speaking, it would take a very long time. But technically speaking, you can go through the entire game with nothing but a deck of zeros. And if you play patiently enough, you'll get through it just fine. The only time you might have trouble is when you need to get through those doors, but I don't think they require... No, they don't require your deck, so I don't think that matters. So yeah, you can go through the entire game just using nothing but zeros and or just using slights on everything. So there's that. The reason why Terra Xehanort is anti-Chain of Memories is because in Birth by Sleep, there's a thing called shot locks. I wouldn't go as far to say they break the game because you can easily defeat, well, maybe not easily, but you can still defeat bosses without them. But there's very little thing stopping you from just spamming nothing but shot locks. Like shot lock, use your strongest shot lock, and then once it's over, build up the gauge, repeat as necessary. And I think there's an item that gives you focus back. I'm not sure about that, but be as it may, if you wanted to, you could pretty much do nothing but spam shot locks, get enough attacks out that gives you a lot of focus, and then go back to shot locking. Terra Xehanort is anti-Chain of Memories. The slights, or in this game, shot locks, do not work on him. He will actively dodge those attacks. And I don't want to say I love seeing it because that makes it seem like I enjoy their misery, but it always makes me laugh and even smile when somebody who's fighting Terra Xehanort for the first time, and like one of the first things they do is immediately try a shot lock, or they try to just shot lock him through the entire fight and they get mad that he's dodging it. It's just so, that's funny to me because they're so used to cheesing the game when they're actually forced to play it in a challenging way. They can't handle it because they're so used to just, you know, they're so used to walking in the park. They're not used to fighting an actual boss. They're not used to having to actually use the combos or the, I think they're called decks in this game too, with the abilities on them. They're not used to doing that. It's just shot lock, shot lock, shot lock, shot lock, just shot lock everything. So when Terra Xehanort forces them to have to actually fight him, it's so good. That's like one of the number one things I like about him. That and he heals himself. So that also makes it kind of an interesting fight, but be that as it may. Also, you can't, another thing I forgot to mention is that he shuts down aggressive players. Like I'm not a professional, like I keep saying. I mean, I got some skills in the Kingdom Hearts games. I wish I could show you. I have skills, but I have never been the type of person to just be like overly aggressive, like in his face nonstop, just beating him with the Keyblade, because that doesn't work. In addition to him dodging your attacks, he will block it and counter you. So there's that you have to worry about. So if you just go in there just swinging at him willy-nilly, just trying to get as many attacks off as you can, he'll either dodge them, very rarely get tagged by them, or block them and counterattack you. So I actually like Terra Xehanort makes you fight him. You can't cheese him, and I know someone probably figured out a way how to do it anyway, but for the most part, you cannot cheese him. You have to fight him. Now, with that being said, and sorry this has been on for so long, hopefully looking at that has not bored you to death. But moving on, the reason why this is like arguably my favorite medal I own, you know, bar Mickey up here, I wish I could block him out, is because it tells the story of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep just by looking at it. This medal itself represents the darkest Kingdom Hearts has ever gotten, and that was Birth by Sleep, because Xehanort wins. As I mentioned in the previous video, Xehanort wins. He doesn't, spoiler alerts, I know that's a little late for that, but I mentioned spoiler alerts in that video where I talked about it, so hopefully, you know, if you want to play the game, I'm sorry, I spoiled it for you. Probably been spoiled it for you, really, but I digress. He didn't get the, here we go again, he didn't get the Keyblade, the X-Blade, the Chi Blade. I'm going to probably do that all the time, by the way, like he originally wanted to. But he did get something that would be the catalyst for the misfortune that he would spread for the next 11 plus years. Terra. Terra became his new vessel, and through that, he was able to do all these other evil machinations that he had planned. If Terra had not succumbed to the darkness, Xehanort probably would have been killed as normal, or his possession would have just straight up failed because Terra wasn't steeped in darkness like he was. Another fun fact, for those of you who played the game, when Terra unlocks the Dark Impulse for the first time, do you think that would make more sense if it happened with the Xehanort fight, especially when he went all Bankai, when he had a fight just Master Xehanort, you saw like all that darkness coming off of him? Wouldn't it have made more sense for it to be there? I kind of get why it wouldn't be, because it means that's you literally get it in the second to last fight in the entire game, so I get why it wouldn't be that late, but don't you think it would make more sense for it to just reappear again for that fight, especially since that particular fight is not meant to be hard like the next fight? But I'm getting off track here. Yeah, so Terra Xehanort gets, you know, reborn as Terra Xehanort. See, I messed up there. I meant to say Xehanort gets reborn as Terra Xehanort, but you know what I mean. So that's what happened to poor Terra here. That's his dark ending. Ventus over here, this sleepyhead, he's essentially put into a coma. For some reason, his heart being shattered or not in his body, I think I'm kind of confused what's going on there. Either way, his heart's messed up. Essentially his soul, and somehow that has either that or Castle Oblivion has stopped his body from aging. So when he eventually gets his heart back completely, he will still be the same age he is in right now, unless Kingdom Hearts wants to get super weird and he gets his heart back and he physically ages until he's his appropriate age. But I don't think they'll go that far. That'd be strange even for Kingdom Hearts. So that's what's going on with Ventus. He's essentially in a coma and has a god-tier amnesia where he believes he's an entirely different person. Roxas, but I've already touched on that before. And then Aqua here, you probably think what's going on with her is the most normal, despite that facial expression, which is, I think, kind of adorable because it looks like she's trying to be serious, but I can't help but hold back laughing. You think she'd be the most normal until you look at her Keyblade. That is not Aqua's Keyblade, so in addition to showing the dark happenings of Master Ericus, it also represents Aqua being in the realm of darkness, where she's essentially stranded there. I think to this day she's still stranded there unless they've explored more about that with her special story. I forgot what it's called exactly, but you know what I'm talking about, where it's like super high definition. Explores more of what's going on with Aqua, so I'm not sure if she's actually already out or if she's just somewhere else, but she was at the very least trapped in the realm of darkness up from right here. As far as this medal is concerned, she was trapped in the realm of darkness and almost gave up hope and was killed by, I think, Darksides or just a bunch of Heartless in general. I forget which. Until Terra and Ventus's Keyblade's powers, whatever you wish to call them, showed up to save her. But be that as it may, Aqua nearly died. Ventus is in a coma, and Terra is, to this day, still possessed. So that's why I say this is the darkest Kingdom Hearts has ever gotten, because everyone loses. Everybody. Because Master Xehanort got to live much longer than he originally would. He was able to spread a lot of evil. It's because of him the Heartless became as big of a threat as they did. It's because of him the Nobodies exist, and also the Unversed in the past. So he caused a lot of bad to happen because these three heroes failed. And of course Mickey just Mickey. He's already at fault. But I digress. Sorry, this video went on a lot longer than I thought, but I thought it'd be pretty good to have a discussion. I call it that, a discussion video, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and end it now because I have no idea how long I've been talking. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry if it got super boring near the end. I'm sorry for that. Hopefully my topics were at least somewhat entertaining. Feel free to, do anything else while you watch these. I know it's a little late for that, but next time this happens, feel free to do something else while you listen. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you around.